Top of the morning, my fellow otakus. Today's video is going to be on the one and only queen of all defense shred, Pela. We are going to be talking about her skills, most optimal light cone, eidolons, and more, so stay tuned. But with that said, let's get it. Pela's attacks dish out plenty of ice damage, but the debuffs she applies are where she really shines. Not only is she capable of freezing enemies, but her skill also applies weakness, which reduces the damage dealt by the enemy, and her ultimate lowers her target's defense, allowing both Pela and the rest of her team to swoop in and finish them off. To sweeten the deal, her passive sees her gain additional energy when her attacks inflict debuffs on enemies. Pela works well as a sub-DPS alongside another strong damage dealer that can make the most of the debuffs she inflicts. When building her, we recommend increasing her ice damage, attack, and energy restoration where possible. Let's dive into her skills. Her basic ATK, Frost Shot, deals ice damage equal to 50 to 130% of Pela's attack to a single enemy. Her talent, Data Collecting, states that if the enemy is debuffed after Pela's attack, Pela will restore 5 to 12.5 extra energy. This effect can only be triggered one time per attack. The bonus effect you get from both her eidolons and traces are as follows. Her E1 victory report states, when Pela defeats an enemy, Pela regenerates 5 energy. You also get E6, Feeble Pursuit. When Pela attacks a debuffed enemy, she deals additional ice damage equal to 40% of Pela's attack to the enemy. Bash deals 20% more damage to debuffed enemies, and finally, the secret strategy. When Pela is on the battlefield, all allies' effect hit rate increases by 10%. Her ultimate, Zone Suppression, deals ice damage equal to 60 to 120% of Pela's attack to all enemies, with a 100% base chance to inflict exposed on all enemies. When exposed, enemies' defense is reduced by 30 to 45% for 2 turns. Her skill, Frostbite, removes 1 buffs, and deals ice damage equal to 105 to 262.5% of Pela's attack as to a single enemy. With a mix of her eidolons and traces, you get the following bonus effects. E2, Adamant Charge. Using skill to remove buffs increases speed by 10% for 2 turns. E4, Full Analysis. When using skill, there is a 100% base chance to reduce the target enemy's ice resistance by 12% for 2 turns and finally wipe out. Using skill to remove buffs increases the damage of the next attack by 20%. Finally, her technique, Splitting Spearhead, immediately attacks the enemy. Upon entering battle, Pela deals ice damage equal to 80% of her attack to a random enemy, with a 100% base chance of lowering the defense of all enemies by 20% for 2 turns. Pretty busted, I would say so, for a 4-star character debuffer. As we look at her light cones, one of the light cones I like using on her and what I think is the best in slot for her to further give more defense shred is Resolution shines as Pearls of Sweat, which, when the wearer hits an enemy, and if the hit enemy is not already ensnared, then there is a 100% base chance to ensnare the hit enemy. Ensnared enemies' defense decreases by 16% for 1 turn at max imposition. Here are some of the upgrades I have given her. My way of playing is that, if I can max them out and be done with them, then I will. Everyone plays the game differently, so don't let anyone tell you they're a set way to play Honkai Star Rail. Have fun. As we look at her eidolons, her E1 victory report. When Pela defeats an enemy, Pela regenerates 5 energy. E2, using skill to remove buffs increases speed by 10% for 2 turns. E3, increases her skill level +2 and basic attack level +1, up to a maximum of level 10. E4, when using skill, there is a 100% base chance to reduce the target enemy's ice resistance by 12% for 2 turns. E5, increases her ultimate level +2 and talent level +2, up to a maximum of level 15. E6, when Pela attacks a debuffed enemy, she deals additional ice damage equal to 40% of Pela's attack to the enemy. So all in all, another waifu worth investing. With that said, I have left some footage of Simulated Universe Stage 5 and MOC Stage 5, which is currently the highest I have made it to as an F2P. Sad, I know, but overall remember, my fellow otakus. Touch some grass on your way out.
逃がさない。まだ立ち上がりますか。蝶と共に散れ、スターレイファントム。うちのとっておきを食らえ。殴ったね。
氷雪の志は朽ちることなし。
次、蝶と共に散れ、スターレイファントム。おや、捕獲マーク起動。愉快な反撃の時間です。次、蝶と共に散れ、スターレイファントム。おや、うち今回は足を引っ張ってないでしょ。
チャンスをつかめ。
めんどくさいやつ。おや、捕獲マーク起動。愉快な反撃の時間です。
覚悟しろ。共に散れ、スターレイファントム。あの世に送ってやる。逃がさない。この程度。
殴ったね。
ランドゥの名のも氷雪の志は朽ちることなし。
まだ立ち上がりますか。あの世に送ってやる。ついてないね。楽にしてあげる。蝶と共に散れ、スターレイファントム。たまには真面目。うちのとっておきを食らえ。
そこまでだ。
おや、敵を分析してから判断しましょう。
僕がいる。
めんどくさいやつ。敵データ収集。捕獲マーク起動。愉快な反撃の時間です。おや、逃がさない。殴ったね。逃がさない。
程度か。
逃がさない。まだ立ち上がりますか。たまには真面目に うちのとっておきを食らえ。敵データ収集捕獲マーク起動。愉快な反撃の時間です。楽にしてあげる。蝶と共に散れ。スターレインファントム。ついてないね。竜
ランドゥの名の小説の志は朽ちることなし。